What if it's something that you don't want, so like you just shove it all in your mouth? Like I did that last night.
With what?
With the dinner.
The dinner that I made? So we're back.
And we are now going to be talking about ways to prevent getting diabetes in the first place.
Okay, so we're going to be talking about diabetes, but really what we're talking about is overeating, because we talked about one of the ways that you can get type 2 diabetes is that you have a lot of abdominal fat.
Yes.
And that can, trigger some inflammation and what we call insulin resistance. Now we're going to talk about how we can try to avoid that. And one thing is, how do we avoid overeating in general? Okay.
So I know one way, taking smaller portions of your food.
Okay, how can you take smaller portions?
You could take half or 1/3 of the portions that you normally take, because it really does take 20 minutes for you to digest all your food. And so if you just take your portion, if you take the normal amount you normally take and then eat it all in like 3 to 5 minutes, and then you're like, oh, I'm still hungry, and then go back for more, you're really you're gonna get a stomach ache, and that's how you get more abdominal fat. One way to do that, one way you get more abdominal fat is by overeating. So really just take half or 1/3 of the portion, then wait 15 to 20 minutes after eating, and then you can decide if you want to go back and get more.
Or maybe another way of saying that is maybe you can take whatever meal you have in front of you and eat it much more slowly and mindfully. Enjoy the texture, enjoy the flavor, chew it really well.
What if it's something that you don't want, so like you just shove it all in your mouth? Like I did that last night.
With what?
With the dinner.
The dinner that I made?
Yeah, the zucchini, because I hate zucchini, so I shoved all the zucchinis in my mouth. I shoved every single vegetable into my mouth like super fast, because I hate the taste of zucchinis.
Yeah, so if there's something that you don't like that's on your plate that you need to eat, sometimes I like to eat those parts first, so then I can get to the part that I enjoy. Like if it's mixed into a dish and you don't really have anything else to eat. I'm bummed that you don't like the zucchini, but you know what? But also, which brings another point, is that when you're eating, just not talking about not liking foods, but when you're eating a plate full of food, you really should be filling that plate, at least more than half of that plate, with vegetables, like salad and other vegetables, and at a minimum. And eat those things first, because those foods have a lot of fiber, and that fiber helps to fill you up, so you don't necessarily feel compelled to eat some of the other things that don't have as much fiber, might not have enough nutrients, and might contribute to the excessive calories that we consume.
Okay.
There's one example where you were sitting around having a bag of popcorn. It was a big bag of popcorn while you were watching a movie. And when you were doing that, I think that you ate pretty much the entire bag of popcorn.
Yeah.
Okay. I would say that it's more than like one portion size per person.
True.
Yeah. It was quite a bit. It might have been 2 or 3 portion sizes per person.
Maybe.
Potentially. So when you're eating that much out of the bag, you don't really have an idea, because you're just eating. You don't have an idea of how much you're having. It's important to look at how much a portion is on the package.
Okay.
And it's also important to parse that amount out for yourself, how much you're going to eat. So if you plan ahead and you say, I'm only going to have 1 portion size or 2 portion sizes, and you measure out how much that is, that's another way of doing it. Okay. And then on that topic of eating, a lot of times we associate certain foods with certain events. Like when you go to the movies, often you want to have popcorn while you're watching a movie. It's like this automatically ingrained thing.
And when you go to the birthday party or a party, you will always think of like cupcakes or cakes.
Yeah, there's an association. For a lot of people, if they have pizza, they also want to have what?
Cake.
Soda, Coke, Sprite.
Oh.
Right? That's an association.
Or pineapple.
Or for some adults, they'll want to have beer. So, we associate certain foods with other things. We associate certain events with certain foods. And that can sometimes lead to some mindless eating. So really trying to break that thought that, I have to eat this because I'm doing this.
Okay.
Not necessarily.
I don't do that.
Okay.
Well.
Also, when you're eating, it's helpful if you have a smaller plate, because visually we look at it, and if you have, like let's just say you have a cup of something. Of
Couple
some
of
food.
noodles.
Okay, a cup of noodles. You put a cup of noodles on a big plate, you feel like you're not eating very much. But if you put that same cup of noodles on a small plate or a small bowl, you would probably like, oh, that's quite a bit of food. And that kind of tricks your brain into thinking that's enough to eat. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Do you ever do that, Neal?
No.
No? You never ever eat more than you think your stomach can handle?
No.
I'm not going to believe you on that one. Because I know if you really like something,
Excuse
you
me,
do eat a
Neal.
lot of it.
Excuse me, Neal.
Remember when we went to dinner on Friday?
No.
You ate about 17 cut strawberries, 6 whole strawberries, and you ate, I only had 1 tortilla with stuffing that had another tortilla on top. You had 3 tortillas with stuffing inside. And they were big tortillas. Don't tell me that you don't do that stuff.
I don't. You're lying.
Just on that note of eating until we're full, it's better to not eat until you're full. It's better to eat until you're 80% full. There is a concept in Japan called harahachi-bu, which is essentially stop eating when you're 80% there. So, because normally when you're eating when you're full, it's too much. So then we overconsume calories.
Okay.
And one more thing.
Is that why Japanese are so healthy?
Well, Okinawa is one of the blue zones. And people in Okinawa, so people live the longest in these blue zone areas, and they live the longest and the healthiest. And then another thing is that a lot of times we will drink our calories. So you drink juice or
Water.
soda. Well, not water. I mean, we drink water, but that doesn't lead to an overconsumption of calories. That's right. Gatorade and other sweetened
Strawberry
beverages.
juice.
Okay, it's better to eat grapes than to have grape juice because you're gonna get the fiber and the water and all the nutrients. When you have liquid calories, you end up having a lot more than you need to have, a lot more calories than you need to have. And even on the note of smoothies, that a lot of people have smoothies. And in one way, smoothies are good because it does ensure that you're getting a lot of the nutrients that you need. But on the other hand, you also end up getting excessive calories.
Okay.
Please subscribe, leave a great comment, and click the like button. And tell 3 other friends about this podcast. Thank you for listening.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.